Hey guys, Music Man here, back with another Identity 5 video, and I'm back with another Violinist video. I've been working on him a lot more since last video, so I hope you guys can see some improvement from the previous video, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Now the first match we're going to be looking at is on Sacred Heart Hospital. Hospital is arguably one of the best maps for the Violinist. Some of my favorite maps to play him on are Red Church, Sacred Heart Hospital, and although difficult, I have had luck with him on Arms Factory. So he does very well in the small maps because mobility isn't such a huge issue for hunters, and that's what makes hunters like Feaster and Violinist strong on them, is that the whole thing about needing mobility doesn't go super much for those maps, because you can get from one side of the map to the other with relative ease. So I was actually able to get a nice first down on the Priestess using my notes there, and that was an extremely important first down for me, because that put me in a really good position, being that the strongest thing about a Violinist is his camping, because it can be really easy to get double hits with him. So now that was really close note here, but I figure I tried to hit that there, but it was slightly off. So I decided to hit the Mercenary once, just to counter Cypher Rush a bit, because and that actually counters Cypher Rush a bit, just because it takes him so long to heal up. It actually can do quite a bit against the Cypher Rush, which is the number one problem for almost every hunter, with some exceptions being Bloody Queen has pretty good Cypher Rush control. Let's see, Dream Witch is really good because you can have your leeches at multiple ciphers at once. So let's see, I was able to get a nice early hit on the Enchantress there, so now the Enchantress can't save. And that is the first secured down for me, so now I'm going to make my way over to this cipher. I know the Prospector was here before, so now I'm just going to go around here looking for the Prospector, and I do actually find him going around that way. Nah, I just kind of threw that out there to try to see if I could get a hit with my ultimate ability, and I was able to, so now I only have to get one more hit on the Prospector. And the reason why you see me aiming these notes a lot then is one, it can provide a distraction for survivors, but two, it also actually slows down their speed, which is one reason why Violinist counters tight kiting so much. Another reason why Violinist counters tight kiting is because it's all they are all based on using the downtime after a swing. That's when they drop down a pallet or try to surprise with a stun. But generally speaking, Violinist is a really good counter to tight kiting with his secondary ability, because he's able to swing after each hit when he's shooting his notes out. So if you have issues with pallet looping or tight kiting, this might be a really good hunter for you. So the Prospector was saved, but that doesn't matter so much because I have the Enchantress down in the chair, and someone's already going to have to go for the save for anyway if they want to try to go for a win. But with 4 ciphers remaining, the Cypher Rush has already been countered so much that it can provide a pretty big issue for these survivors, because now they're kind of stuck in a really bad position with 4 ciphers remaining. And I'm trying to hit the Enchantress, and I do actually hit her with that ultimate ability. So you can see where that can be kind of useful, extremely useful during a chase, because a lot of survivors will be like, oh, I missed the note, no big problem. But if you are able to use your ultimate ability in the correct direction, you can actually sometimes deal nice surprise hits to survivors. So I'm just kind of placing my peepers down, looking for where the rescue is going to come from. Actually, no, never mind. Looking at that, they're actually trying to probably heal up at this point. So now I'm just going to make my way to where I think the healing is at, because I have a feeling they're going to try to heal up. If they expect to finish all of these ciphers, they do need to heal up beforehand. And you can see that there with the prospector. He's healing up, and my tinnitus is going off, so I know I'm somewhere near. I found the mercenary. You wouldn't chase him normally. However, given the situation, he's the only one injured. And I actually decided, hey, I want to go up. I want to down the prospector here, even though I could have easily have secured the win by chairing the mercenary. I was able to use my notes there, and you can see as time goes on, I've been working on that. I've been getting better at using the notes correctly and able to get some really nice hits there. So that would have been close to a hit if that went through, but apparently I was outside of the range. And you can see I'm throwing these notes out here, making him slower because this is typically a tight kiting area, and I am able to down the prospector. So I'm going to take the prospector to the chair. Now, at this point, their only hope is mercenary healing up and going for the rescue. So, yep, you see the mercenary use their exit path there. And right now, I'm just concerned with destroying the environment, looking out for my tinnitus to see whether he's trying to go for the save or going for dungeon. Checking these ciphers. I kind of doubted he would be decoding at this point, but now I'm going to, at this point, I'm checking dungeon spawns. Although it is a mercenary, and with his ability, it's almost impossible to get him down before dungeon if you find him in the dungeon area. So, yeah, the mercenary ended up getting dungeon there, but that was a good win. You saw I was using my ability to my advantage. And a lot of survivors actually ended up running into each other, which actually helped out in my favor for Cypher Rush. And look at that, another note there. I'm able to get a hit on the Gravekeeper. See, I like hitting the Gravekeeper with a shovel there just because it gives so much more presence. That was very close there, but now I've got my Presence 1 ability, and this is an extremely strong start for me. So the thing with Violinist is there are a lot of survivors that if you don't get this first kite really fast, the rest of the match becomes really, really difficult for you. So it's extremely important to be able to get a nice, fast first down, because the camping is really where his power comes in. And that was annoying there. The prisoner was able to body block. But I'm going to continue chasing the Gravekeeper because, why not? Now, at this point, I know the Gravekeeper can't really do anything. It's a little bit annoying that the notes don't do anything while they're underground. However, I get another hit on the Gravekeeper. He would have had a shot at getting a pallet stun there, I'm not really sure. But I'm going to continue chasing the Gravekeeper. That was really close. But see, use the ultimate ability. I hit the Entomologist I was just decoding there. So now that counters Cypher Rush even more. And I'm still chasing the Gravekeeper. So now I'm just kind of looking around. That was not super great. But I'm right on the Gravekeeper's tail, and I'm going to continue chasing him here. So, now I'm just kind of waiting for my ability to charge, trying to get some window hits there. He does end up dodging that, but he knows I've got my ultimate ability, so he also can't really risk vaulting that, which allowed me to get secure an easy hit on the Gravekeeper. So at this point, I'm not in a great position, but I'm not in a bad position either, because now the mercenary has to save, and depending on his location, that could be easier said than done. But my tinnitus is going off. Another thing that I've seen other violinists do is just take your notes and throw them at like the nearest cipher or any wiggling ciphers, and I could do that, but right now I'm just working on setting up my peepers here and the mercenaries here. End up getting a double hit on the merc, so now I'm in really good position here. I'm chasing the gravekeeper, and I end up getting a normal attack on the gravekeeper. So now the mercenary is going down, the gravekeeper is going down. Nobody can save unless if they 1 prime a cipher or 2 heal up. And I'm assuming they're going to be priming the cipher at this point. So the prisoner says he's coming, but the mercenary is down, so I don't have to worry about another mercenary rescue. Oh, see, the prisoner is now healed up. However, the gravekeeper's time on the chair is nearly out, so... But I do end up getting a first hit on the prisoner here. And I'm just guarding the chair, making sure that he wasn't getting saved, and I do end up getting that secured first down. So at this point, 1 cipher remaining, you know at this point is when I like to disrupt the most. So I see the prisoners around here, and I end up using my ultimate ability to down him. I did get a cipher prime, however I'm able to, because I didn't use a normal attack on him, I was able to follow up with another attack. And that can be actually really difficult for hunters too, because with that speed boost it gives them it allows them to juke really nicely if they know how. But also I'm keeping mind of the gate, and I see the mercenaries here, so what I'm trying to do is that was really close. If he didn't gauntlet, that was gonna hit. But also I've got detention, so if I hit him once, it's an automatic down, and he knows that, so he's like, might as well use up my elbow pads. See, again, if he didn't gauntlet, that probably wouldn't have hit. And at this point, the mercenary is going down. He's just trying to buy more time, but I do end up teleporting to the chair, and just in the nick of time, too. I was able to be there right at the rescue, down the prisoner, and I'm going to place him right on the chair just to secure that down. And at this point, I know the entomologist is somewhere around here, probably heading over to the mercenary, and I'm going to be heading straight in that direction to chair him. So now you can see I'm just going back over to where I downed the mercenary to see if I can secure that win. And if I do end up finding the entomologist instead, that's all good too, but I ended up downing the mercenary really quickly again. And Violinist is actually pretty decent against entomologists because he can actually... look, mid-swing, literally detention runs out. I was like, come on. But also with that secondary ability, he can use both of his swings to be able to destroy the bees really quickly, if that's something that can be an issue. But I'm taking the entomologist to the chair. And then I didn't feel like waiting a whole chairing, so I do end up taking the mercenary to another chair. Just because this was ranked time and I wanted to waste as little time as possible. But now we're moving on to the last match, which is on Leo's memory, and I believe I've said this before, but this is one of the relatively weaker maps for Violinists. I'd say it's about neutral, just because there are some good areas that you can catch survivors at in there. And I do actually find a survivor here in Factory. Factory is by far the most survivor biased area of this map. But right here what I do is I go like that, And I do actually get a really early hit on the prospector there, around the corner. And especially since I had a magnet on, that was a very important hit. And I do end up getting it and then downing the prospector over the window vault. So that was a very, very early first down. You can see early game with Violinist is very important. You need to be able to use your ability to get the down, or else that could lead to some issues with Cipher Rush if the kite goes too long, because he has very little map pressure. And at this point, I'm just placing my peepers down next to ciphers. So a lot of people ask, where should you place peepers? So if I have a survivor down, I'll place one right next to the chair. Just almost every time I'll place a peeper next to the chair. And I actually get a terror shock here. That was pretty lucky. And then watch this. I end up getting there, double line. So now I'm in a really good spot here. Already max presence at 4 ciphers remaining. Replace that there, and you can see I'm placing my peepers next to the ciphers. That's what you should be doing almost every time you walk by a cipher, even sometimes if it's mid-chase, depending on where you're at in the chase. If you walk by a cipher, just go ahead and plop one of those things down. So now the mercenaries there can't rescue, and the only survivors... Oh wait, never mind. He was dead on chair. I didn't even realize that. But now I'm just kind of going over here. I find the entomologist. I was trying to see if I could get a hit on the stairs, but you can see right there, secondary ability, able to get the bugs down really fast. And right there, just around the corner, and I'm able to get that right there too. And I just kind of waste the ultimate ability, because why not? And now I down the entomologist. Mercenary would have a difficult time saving. At this point, I think the perfumer would have a better shot at rescuing, except it is in basement. The basement was in factory, and that played out really well into my hand. Now the entomologist is in basement. Wasn't expecting such an early rescue. However, this was a very good save by the perfumer. Use my charge attack so that like the auto aim or something that this game uses doesn't get in the way. But the entomologist has been double hit, so that plays out really well for me. So now I'm gonna make my way over here just to place the entomologist in another chair. And I end up taking her the one in factory right here. Not too worried about basement, because the rescuer is right here. And the thing that makes basement so powerful is that you can use it to your advantage to... see, I get a hit on the perfumer here. This perfumer does some pretty good rescues here. But if the rescuer is just kind of sitting there like that, you don't really have to worry about getting basement, because the thing that makes basement so strong is that you can use it to your ability, use it to your advantage to on the top to be able to hit without hit recovery, and it's such a long distance up. But since the rescuer is right there, I wouldn't have had a chance to use the top of factory so much to my advantage. And now the entomologist is eliminated, and all I need to do is look for the perfumer there, because I know that it would take a super long time for the mercenary to decode those ciphers on his own. And I actually end up, that looked a little delayed to me on my screen. However, I was able to down the perfumer and take her down to basement. See, this is why basement can be such a pain, because once you get another survivor right next to it, you're able to just kind of farm it and have what we call a basement party eventually, where you get so many survivors down in basement, and there's not really a whole lot the survivors are able to do, especially if you know how to utilize basement properly. And I totally miss in the mercenary here. I was looking out for dungeon, which is actually right here. And I thought my tinnitus was going to be going off, but I do end up seeing the peeper there. And I switched to teleport here so that I'm able to get him when he goes down to basement. So now I get a hit on the staircase right there. And he ends up gauntleting for the save. But I terror shock him in the basement. And that's the game. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. And if you have any other hunters that you'd like to see some more videos of, please let me know in the comment section below as well. Thanks for watching.